Hey everybody, this is Quasar, and I want to go over the layout for your website. And this is for the quest as part of our question-based learning format. So depending on the course that you have, you might have like an overarching theme for your question. And this theme was called This or That. So each question that people eventually landed on to ask had to compare and contrast a seemingly simple decision that happens in everyday life. So in this example, I ask, is it better to use a washable mug instead of a paper cup? Because it seems like a simple question, it seems obvious, and I'm not going to get into like the this or that question format because that is another video, but just know that this question page is not just where you put your question that you land on, that you have worked on with other people and have refined to something open-ended and awesome and not Googleable. But you also want to dive a little bit into how you got to that question, like why it was interesting to you, and then what the question means on a deeper level. So really like break down the question and get across to your audience that this is not a simple question, and that it's really going to take a sustained quest and a journey to attempt to answer it. And likely you won't even have an answer by the end of this, not a straightforward one at least, or a complete one. So the next tab, there should be 4 total. The next tab is for your research. And this example only has the Coggle, and that's the Coggle is a website that we used, and it was just a way to make a digital mind map. Some people decide to make a interactive physical mind map that they refined and changed along the way, and you could take a picture of that and upload it to this research page if you decided to not make a digital mind map. There are also there's other software and other websites available for making digital mind maps, so it doesn't have to be Coggle. But this one was cool, and it let me embed it, and I can actually like edit it within my site if I wanted. So below that Coggle should be a list of my sources as well, sort of in an annotated bibliography style, where I've got the source cited and a little bit of a note about what the source was and why I thought it was useful to my quest. The third tab is for your blog, and this is really the cool communication part of it. So when you come across something that was just, I don't know, out in left field or super surprising or just really interconnected in a kind of mind-blowing like way, you're going to write a blog article about it. And there are what are they called? There are prompts for each of those blog articles, and they're being done mostly weekly. But I would always encourage you to go off the script if you are super inspired by something. So one of the prompts that I have out there, and obviously this is not a completed blog site or tab either because it would have multiple blog articles on this tab. But one of the prompts was the crazy rabbit hole prompt. And that's the one that was started here. And this is just my example. So like I didn't really go on this quest of answering if the reusable mug is really more sustainable than the paper cup. But I do think it's a really cool question. And then the answer page is where you upload a photo of your final project and where you actually break down what the answer was. So this is not a very great example. I mean, I have a really cool presentation up that a student in the past did, and that's just an example of like a way to embed a project on the answer site. So the answer site answers the actual question in paragraph, like a written answer. But then it also has the project or how you wanted to communicate in a creative way embedded into that tab. So let me show you the template version. So that was an example version, not the best or like complete. And then this is the actual template for creating the site. So it explains like basically what I'm doing right now, explaining what's on each page. So the question page, and a breakdown of what that looks like, requirements for the research and how to do that, the blog, and the answer. Okay, and I also just wanted to show you some quick tools in Google Sites. I think I already have a tutorial on how to make a Google site, so you can look for that. But it's really simple. If you want to reorder your pages or change the title of them, you do that here, right? So I could change that to homepage if I wanted, or the actual question. I just like to calling it the question. And I set my question as the homepage. I can actually set other pages as the homepage in that property tab, and I can add a page down here. If the 4 tabs is not doing it, you need another one. Maybe you have an experiment that you're doing that you want to like have its own tab for. You can add a page there and move it around. And then once you have a page made, you go to insert, and then you just drag and drop content. So they have templates that you can drag and drop in and then just click on it to change it, or you can add individual things like text boxes and images. There are themes, and there are these other things that you can add, like a divider in between, maybe like a couple of your pictures and some text. You can embed a YouTube video. Yeah, so I encourage you just to play around with it, to learn it and to make it your own. All right, looking forward to seeing your quest in its Google site form and how it evolves.